Hello and welcome to the Next Assorted Crackers. I'm Eric. I'm here with Liam Wilson, and we are coming to you from Oxbeau, where we are enjoying the first ever Boots, Bourbon, and Barbecue, and we have a very special guest with us here today. One of the things that you can find here at Oxbeau is Smoke and Mirrors hats, and we are here with the founder, Sara Michael. We are so pleased to did I get that? Sarah Michael, right?
You did.
My instinct is to say Sarah Michelle.
I know, it's happened a lot in my life. So.
I'm proud I got it right the first time.
Yeah.
Well, Sara, welcome, and really, we're extremely happy to have you here. One of the things that we like to do is just talk about local businesses, and you're homegrown, right?
Yes,
you're
very
homegrown.
much so. I'm a little seedling.
A little seedling.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tell us where did you get your start?
So I really just kind of started making hats really this year. So
Oh, wow.
this is it's really brand new. I have always loved hats. I was obsessed with the Three Musketeers as a kid.
Yes.
I still am going to build my Three Musketeers hat. That's still a pipe dream. But so I have a really tiny head. That's the only thing. So it's very, very hard to find hats that fit. And so I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I had a custom hat made at a great shop out there. And it was such a cool experience. And, you get a hat shaped made, it's anything and everything you want it to be. The guy there is like, you drink whiskey, you drink tequila, or you drink water. Like, that's it. Like, I'm like, okay, this is my vibe. I like it.
Yeah.
And so I want like 1 million of them, and they're not cheap. So I just decided I should learn how to make them. And so I started making them, and then everywhere I went, people was like, that's a cool hat. Do you sell them? And I was like, well, I guess I can. And here I am today.
That's how businesses are born.
Sara, is everything you sell custom, or can you buy anything off the shelf?
So it's kind of what I'm doing here today is a little bit new and different. So normally how I have taken orders is that I do custom commissions. So we do a consultation. I talk to you about different furs, the difference between wool versus rabbit versus beaver and nutria. So, just kind of different fur types depending on different price points where you want to be. And then we end up picking your felt. I do the back end process. So that takes me anywhere from like 2 weeks to a month to get the hat shaped into a ready to go hat body. And then once that's done, then we do the customization, which is basically what I'm doing here today. So all of the ones I have here today are pretty much pre-made hat bodies, a little bit easier to kind of do on the go. But when I work particularly with, the nicer furs, rabbit, beaver, that sort of thing, I typically do that by custom commission.
I love it.
So there's no single hat that you continue to replicate. Every one of them is custom.
Everyone is just 100% unique. Like, so
Awesome.
I'm not going to repeat really again. So like, what it is it. And really I want people to be I want it to be their own design,
You're giving them the option to have whatever they want. You have the base, and then they can make it what you want, and then you put it together to fulfill their dream.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's so much fun about a hat, like, right, is that, when you wear it and it just feels like home, it represents you, it represents, what you like, that sort of thing. That's how it should feel. And that's why I think most people don't feel, I hear it all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm not a hat person. I don't wear hats, everything like that. I'm like, well, you can be. It just finding one that fits you, finding one that feels like you, finding one that you feel comfortable in. Like, that's just the name of the game.
Talk more about that. I love that, because you're seeing more and more, especially with ladies' hats, coming back into style. Mm-hmm. And I say back into style, and maybe they've always been, but it just feels like I'm seeing more and more. What do you say to somebody who all her life she's never really worn hats and may not want to get into it? Like, how do you convince them to at least try?
I think you gotta find the hat that fits. I think that it's 9 times out of 10 it's that of like people feel like their head looks weird in it. And, and a lot of times I think more than anything, it's people's insecurities kind of get in the way of,
Yes.
And so my biggest advice would be like, wear the damn hat. Like you just gotta like
wear the hat.
You just gotta wear it. You gotta be in it. You gotta wear it. You gotta do it. And own it.
Well, I mean, not everybody's heads are the same sizes. So, like you said your head was a little
Tiny.
smaller.
Little tiny.
I mean, some people have. I mean, so I think it's important that you make it your own.
Absolutely.
And I love that. So,
Do you think you could fit Lee's big melon in a hat?
I challenge acceptance. Yes.
You do dudes hats?
Yes.
Oh, you do men's.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
going down.
I don't.
gotta talk.
They're all they're gender neutral. So like I don't make just ladies hats. I don't make it's just I make
just a
hats.
hat.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So where do we find you? And I obviously we know you're on Instagram. We've been following you and we love your reels.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
if somebody wants to get into the entry and get in touch with you, what's the best first step?
Really, I have a website that's up and running. So smokeandmirrorshatcompany.com, as well as my Instagram is probably the best way to get in touch with me. So just send me direct message, and we can talk about different options and just kind of see. There's just different ways to do things. So if you want a custom commission versus you want something that's just a little bit faster and a little bit more ready made, we can kind of do both.
And your Instagram is at Smoke and Mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors Hat Company.
Perfect.
At Smoke and Mirrors Hat Company.
Yep.
All right.
Great. And your website one more time?
Smokeandmirrorshatcompany.com.
All right, I have
Awesome.
a question for you.
Hatco, sorry.
Hat
I got my own,
Smoke
my
and
own
Mirrors Hat
website
Co.
wrong.
If you could pick anybody from history, a historical figure, who would it be and what kind of hat would you make for them?
Oh,
Well, I would say it's a hard question, but historical figure, Davy Crockett. I'm obsessed with Davy Crockett.
okay.
You're in the right
Been
state.
obsessed with Davy Crockett since I was a child. And I would say I would make him a cool hat, but he has the
He's kinda
coolest
got the
hat
coolest hat.
already. So you really can't beat it. But
So
I
you
will
get,
say
you
my
get to know those people's personality. And once you get to know their personality, then you can say, your head's kind of not shaped right. I think you need this kind of hat.
right, and you see what looks good on people, or like when I've made them for my friends, and I know them, I know their personalities. I'm like, yeah, you're not a big cowboy crown type dude.
Right.
You're not gonna wear that, but you might wear this. It's a little more subtle, a little more refined, and that sort of thing. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So Smoke and Mirrors, that's a cool name. How'd you come up with that?
Really, I was just at brunch drinking mimosas with my friends talking about this idea. And so we were just kind of going through fun, different names. And I ended up with Smoke and Mirrors Hat Company because my initials are as Sara Michael, and then my wife's last name is Halderson. So then the initials of it would be SMH,
Makes sense.
which match my initials. So I was like, that's cool. And it's kind of the, when you get fit, you got the mirror there, and you got all this steam in the background.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like it kind of, it looks like smoke and mirrors.
I've been watching you do your thing over there and seeing the plumes of steam rising in the air.
Yeah. No, I'm not vaping.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because we're about health over here.
That's right. That's right.
As we eat our sausage and drink our bourbon.
Yeah. That's my kind of health.
That's good. That's good. We need to get you a pour.
Yes. I won't say no.
So Wilson's going to take care of that.
Yeah. Thanks, Wilson.
Glasses are behind the bar. So you grew up in Memphis,
I did. Mm-hmm.
and then you went to Wyoming, and now you're back, and you've been back here for how long?
I've been back here for a long time. So by day, my real job is I'm a physical therapist.
Okay.
So this is my total creative side hustle. So I helped. I'm the clinical director at 901 PT with Dr. Clay Jones, who started it. He was my mentor. He actually hired me back out of Colorado. That's how I ended up moving back here, was to work for him. And then he started his own business. And I came on with that about eight years ago. And so that is what I've been doing ever since.
So you're still practicing PT, I
I
assume?
am still practicing PT. Absolutely. Not quitting my day job.
Yeah.
I don't trust my hats that much.
No, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Thanks.
That's what we keep saying about this podcast.
Yeah.
Someday we'll quit our day job and just do a podcast.
Exactly.
Maybe so. But so you mentioned bourbon earlier. So tell us your bourbon origin story.
Oh, my bourbon origin story. Well, let's see. My dad, who I saw bouncing around here earlier, I grew up listening to this story. So my dad went backpacking in the Pacific Northwest with his buddies. One of his buddies lived in Bellingham, Washington. And so they went up there. They did all of these backpacking trips when they were little young bucks and everything like that. And I grew up with this story of they got, snowed off the mountain and they're driving and they drive up on this tiny little hole in the wall mountain bar that only serves bourbon. It's the only thing that they
My kind
have.
of bar.
And I grew up, my dad was like, I would say, oh, it was so cool. And that's where I had it, Pappy Van Winkle was the big one that, that was where he found Pappy Van Winkle. And then I never got to hear the end of that story because I'm really not sure what happens after all those men drank all that bourbon. But we'll leave it a mystery.
We can
They start a podcast.
If any of them knew how to work technology, they might. But most of them, I think, are past that point.
Maybe so.
Call producer Bill. So you were talking about the materials, and one of the things that caught my ear was you mentioned nutria, and I hadn't considered. I grew up in Louisiana.
Yeah.
What are some of the other materials that people might find surprising that you use for making hats?
Yeah, so I mean, those are the main ones when it comes to the furs themselves.
Yeah.
But nutria is pretty cool. So when you look at like beaver, a beaver is like the Rolls Royce of the hat world, right? So depending on, you can get blends of how much and what percentage of the hat is, beaver. But what's funny is that nutria actually has a lot of very similar qualities to beaver. So like the functional aspects of it, of like it being, weather resistant, lasting, keeping its shape, all of that stuff. It has all of that in common. And with it being an invasive species,
yes, it is.
It's actually been helpful, to have something to do. So that is it's a little bit of a weird side story, but
well, I'll build on your weird side story. I remember distinctly when they're invasive species, they reproduce, and I remember in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, the sheriff, he would send his men out to just kill as many as he could, and they just could not keep up with the population. So you know what they did? They got with the Ladies Junior Auxiliary and asked them to produce a cookbook of nothing but nutria recipes, because they know in Louisiana, if you can make it, people will eat it. And they put out this cookbook, and people started harvesting nutria for food in Louisiana.
You can also get possum. Possum is what?
Yeah, well, an armadillo is possum on a half shell.
Okay, there you go.
yeah.
But again, being able to use some of these materials, Bill has shown us. So you got a beaver on the left, nutria on the right, and nutria in the middle, muskrat. There is not a lot of difference there.
No, there's not a lot of difference.
The teeth.
How about that?
The teeth. Yes, nutria.
Terrifying.
Do they have a tail like a beaver?
No, they got a tail like a rat.
Yeah.
But they do have teeth like a beaver. They chew trees.
Yikes.
Big old orange, brown teeth.
Wow.
You didn't think you'd come on this podcast to talk about nutria, did you?
I'd never know what's coming.
There you go.
Neither do we.
No, we don't. We're on the fly.
Well, maybe we get back to the business. I mean, so you've been at this for just less than a year.
Yes, less than a year. I started in May.
Oh, so you really are
It's
brand
really new.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
And now you're here. You're on the stage.
I know.
You're about to blow up.
Public
The assorted
platform.
crackers are going to take you on the way.
That's right.
So we obviously try to do a little bit of research. We whatever AI could scrape off the web. But is there anything about you or your business that we wouldn't know or wouldn't have been able to find through the public domain?
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of things. But I'm not sure, in terms of, I think the main thing is that, it's just brand new, and I'm just kind of playing with things and seeing what I can do, seeing what I can create. If it goes somewhere, that's cool. But otherwise, it's really just a hobby and something I love. And
Well, they look great. They really do look great.
Thank you.
My loaded question earlier, I think my wife would look great in a hat. And I would love to be able to try to
you
convince
would look
her to
great
try
in a
it.
hat.
A ball cap.
There you go.
Yeah.
I need to get me one.
Yeah.
Well, how do you how long? You didn't just decide to make a hat, right? You like
That's
how they look.
exactly how this happened.
Yeah, you just started putting it together. How do you learn to do this?
The internet.
Of course.
I just watched a bunch of
YouTube?
videos on YouTube, and I started with what bare minimum tools did I think I would need? And I started actually with my kettle on the stove. So like I have a tea kettle.
Yeah.
And so before I had a steamer or an iron or anything like that, I would just, set a big pot of water on to boil and then leave the hat over the water at my tea kettle and just kind of play with shaping it. And then, that's how it grew.
I love
That's
that you
fun.
can literally launch a business based on just learning, like deciding, having a passion in something and learning how to do it.
I mean, it was that. I mean, I really think it just intended of, I can just keep making myself hats because I want all of them. And when it turned into when people were like, well, can you sell them? Like, I like that. And there was just really no reason not to at that point. So I was like, yes, I can.
So with the hat thing, once you kind of get this down and you grow the business a little bit, do you see yourself venturing into other things? Other clothing items or other things?
I don't know. I mean, I have really enjoyed my wife has actually kind of gotten into it, and she makes the leather bands. So like I make all of the leather. So I've had fun with the leather working aspect of it. So I would say that. But at the end of the day, I'm also I'm a PT and I love my job. And so it's also how much. How many hours in the day do you have? And so
like 6.
Yeah, I know.
You have 6 and then you sleep for 2
Yeah,
and then you work the others.
that's right.
That's the way it works, I
Yeah.
guess. So do you consider yourself a hat influencer?
I don't know about that. Maybe one day, but
I mean, we might have just dubbed you that.
yeah, I don't know.
The hat influencer.
Certainly in the Mid-South.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm bringing it to Memphis here.
We're glad you are. We really are. So your story is a good one, and we're really glad to meet you and have you on the show. Is there anything else? This is your chance to you've talked a lot about the product and the process, but anything else you'd like to say, particularly to somebody who again might be looking to find you, thinking about trying your hats? And no kidding, folks, their hats look great. I've been seeing them coming through the door. They really do look sharp.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're right out of you got that Wyoming vibe happening.
That's right. Well, one thing that I'm proud of, I am from Memphis, and, my main gig is in another Memphis startup, and, I care a lot about the community and giving back to the community. And when I see my hats and everyone's like, oh, did you get that from Nashville? I love the fact that I can say, no, I did not. And I proudly make them here. And really, it's cool. Everybody's like delighted response of like, oh, they're like, we have to go to Nashville for that. Like, I didn't know that existed here. That's really cool. Can I get your information? And so, Nashville doesn't get to have all the fun. So that's
I love it.
We are so pro Memphis on this. Memphis, if you're looking for a hat, smoke and mirrors, find them.
No doubt.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate the time today.
It's nice to meet you.
Yes, very good to meet you. So one of our mottos. Well, we've got 2 mottos as we go, and you've
right.
inspired both of these. One, we say, and again, we're trying to inspire people, not just men, but mostly people who get to that age in life when they feel like their best days are behind them, but they are not. We always have new ideas and fresh takes, and you've shown that. So first, we say, don't be afraid to try new flavors.
And the next one is don't go stale.
Don't go stale, folks.
That's it.
That's right.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.